got Vucevic, the sweet-shooting 7-footer out of USC, in at the center. Then there's Tobias Harris. And looking at the Pacers. At the 1 and 2, George Hill and Lance Stevenson. And inside, a towering 7-footer, maybe the most imposing big man in the game. All-star center, Andrew Bynum. Then it's Paul George, and it's West in at the 4. Now Nelson. Dishes it to Vucevic. On the wing of Flavo. Harris outside. Shot clock at 5. Nelson outside. Shoots from the elbow. Buries the jump shot.
One of the bright young head coaching stars in the league, Frank Vogel, took over the Pacers on an interim basis 3 seasons ago and immediately paid dividends. They had a strong finish to that season and his first season in a competitive first-round series against Chicago, and that success has continued to build and grow, and Frank Vogel deserves a lot of the credit.
So the Orlando Magic able to put the first points up on the board. And West backs in. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just clanks the open jumper.
And Coach Vogel, the second youngest coach in the NBA last season, but he'd been working in the NBA for 15 years, Steve, prior to that, prior to becoming a head coach.
Yeah, 5 years as a video coordinator, a couple seasons as an advanced scout, and then 8 years on the bench as an assistant. So he's definitely paid his dues and learned a lot on his way up the ladder.
Stevenson passes to Bynum. Rejected by Harris. On defense, Indiana. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. And a follow kicks to Nelson. For Orlando, moving the ball around. Here's Vucevic. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Vucevic has got his first basket of the night.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen. Well, guys, for the Pacers, it's been a slow and long climb from the Malice at the Palace back in '04. But now, with a terrific young team fresh off a strong showing in the Eastern Conference Finals, we can finally say the Pacers are back, and they're going to be around for a while contending for championships.
Here's Nelson after David West's bucket. Nelson outside. There's the 3. Gets it to go. Nelson's got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 from the floor, so a good start for this club.
And for the Pacers, ever since that unfortunate night in Detroit, the attendance in Indiana has sagged. They've been at the bottom half percentage-wise, Steve, for the last 9 years.
Well, it's time for the fans to come back, Kevin. This is an elite team. They've got really high character, good guys. Ticket prices are about 60% less than the league norm. One of the best arenas in the NBA, and hey, it's Indiana. I mean, this is a basketball state.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Hill dishes to Bynum. Shot clock at 6. Goes up to the stripe. And they'll turn it over. Did not get off the shot. 24-second violation.
Well, let's take a look at where Orlando ended up, Kevin, rank-wise in the league last year. 10th in assists, 11th in fewest turnovers per game. And they were in the top half of the league in team rebounding as well. I think that speaks to the fact that this team aggressively goes after the basketball at every position.
And I think really the key to their success, Clark, is what you talked about with the assists, because they're a top 10 team in the league thanks to a lot of unselfish play. They really like to move the ball, and when they found their offensive groove and passed the ball well, they were tough to beat. And the thing I admire about him is his poise. He just always looks cool and composed. Doesn't matter if it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter. He's got that same expression on his face.
You know, that's exactly right. And what also comes to mind with him is his persistence on the offensive boards. His second chance points always add up.
And he's good on the second.
You know, for a long time, the Magic were one of the tougher teams in the Eastern Conference, made the playoffs routinely, and even represented the East in the finals one year. That all came to a screeching halt last season, the first in the post-Dwight era.
A nice shot by George.
Well, the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
Orlando leading by 4. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Fires the 3. Another miss by Orlando. And for the Magic, they were in the bottom of the Eastern ladder, and everyone was stepping on their wrong. It's a terrible record against the other teams in the conference.
Yeah, just 10 wins against the rest of the East, and you know that's not even the strong conference in the NBA. So that kind of told you what kind of season it was for Orlando. But there is hope. Some good young talent. Oladipo this year. I like some of the guys who developed last year. This is going to be an interesting team down the road.
Here's Harris after the made shot from Stevenson. And here's Nelson. Paul George grabs the miss. Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity. And he hits it to tie the game up. Stevenson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, regardless of who starts the break, it seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
Now, here is Nelson. He's got 5. Afflalo right side. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Afflalo's got his first points of the night. Pacers have gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%.
You know, one of the things you always hear about Aaron Afflalo, he's one of the most dedicated professionals in the game. A guy who every summer goes back to his hometown of Los Angeles and works on his game diligently. I mean, he's the kind of guy that always seems to get better year in and year out, just looking to grow as a ball player.
Now, here is George. Nelson with it. He feeds it to Harris. Six on the shot clock. Nelson from outside. But they get it back. Number 54. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Pacers trail by 4. And Clark, going back to Afflalo, you ask his coaches, and they're going to tell you about his work. Ethic and Steve about his leadership.
Man, that really goes all the way back to high school and then, of course, at college at UCLA. Guy who wasn't the star player right away, but at each level, chipped away at it, continued to work, and develop into the player he's become.
The Magic leading by 4. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. The Magic head coach and I had a chance to talk just for a bit. We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Thanks again, Doris. Good on the second free throw.
You know, there was a lot of talk about the Magic not getting equal value when they traded Dwight Howard to the Lakers before last season, but you take a look at how both teams started, the Lakers and the Magic, and for a time there, the Magic had a better record early in the season than the Lakers. So I think it worked out okay for the Magic.
Orlando leading. Nelson outside. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Nelson's got 7 points. Well, Clark, like you said, hard to believe, but it's true. The Magic did have a better record than the Lakers for the early part of the season, but that was mostly due to a surprise down year from the Lakers, Steve, and a hot start for Orlando.
And remember, the Magic did get that big win at Staples against L.A. That was kind of a revenge for the D. Howard trade. But as time wore on, you know, the Magic's lack of talent showed, and they really struggled the rest of the season.
Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
Stevenson off the pick from George. Hill, guarded by Nelson. Nelson against Hill. It's George on the wing from outside the arc. The shot, no good. The Magic go the other way with it. This game against Indiana, the first game of the NBA's regular season.
This game kicks off what should be an interesting season series between these clubs. And, of course, they'll see each other 4 times this year.
Now, here is Nelson. He has 7. 6 to shoot. Three-pointer. And Arafalo gets the 3. And now it's a 10-point Magic lead.
And their lead takes another little bump up.
Boy, I tell you, they've got to be feeling better and better about this game.
Well, as Steve was saying, Clark, you know, they're in the same conference. There's going to be a lot of familiarity there. And who knows, after that, they may see each other in the playoffs, too, if all goes right for them there.
Well, that's certainly a possibility, Kevin, but we've got a long way to go before that scenario comes to pass.
That's right.
Right from the start, they've been aggressive on the glass. Most of the rebounds seem to be going their way.
And, Steve, I think they are ready for the fight today.